Girls 106.3. I saw the movie. We're here with Laz Alonzo and Deon Taylor, the director of the movie Traffik, and this gentleman right here.
You loved it. Don't act like you ain't loved my character.
Let me just say this. I love you, but I hated you.
That's right.
At the same time.
That means I did my job.
Oh my God.
I did my job.
This movie is a must-see, what made you want to, shed some light on this? Because this is kind of like out of sight, out of mind, and we don't know about it.
I was, my daughter's actually who sparked the idea. I received a letter from the school about kids being trafficked. Mm-hmm. And I was just blown away by the fact that I would be receiving a letter as a black man with a 12-year-old daughter about kids being trafficked. And I did the research and looked, and I think I was more upset with myself that I didn't know that this was existing with the kids. And then I thought, oh, this is like something international. It's like something to do with just only white people. Mm-hmm. And then I was really blown away to find out that 62% of African American women and kids are leading the charge in being trafficked. That's when I just was like, oh, I got to write something to this.
And you did an awesome job. I saw the movie and I was like,
Right.
Like the whole entire movie, it was like unbelievable. Your character.
Yes.
Where did you go do the research to become this character? Is that how you are? It was some sort of...
I'm actually acting right now. That's the real...
Oh, that's the real you?
I just,
To not give it away, he's kind of like a Stevie J Creep Squad character, okay?
Just go ahead and call me a jerk. Go ahead and call me a jerk.
Stevie J!
Stevie, I don't want to go back to the strip club, Stevie.
Your character. Okay, so how did you become a part of the movie?
I'm going to tell you, I had just finished doing a TV series when I ended up booking this film. And, I was still in TV mode. So I went to Deon and I was like, Deon, I have some ideas about this character. Can I change this line into this? And Deon looked at me square in my face, because I hadn't done independent film in years. Mm-hmm. And he said, hey, man, F the script. And I said, excuse me? This is the script he wrote. Mm-hmm. He said, F the script, man. He grabbed the script out my hand, threw it on the ground. He was like, look, man, you need to bring this character to life. He's like, I want you to get up under everybody's skin. I want you to get up under Paula's skin, up under Omar's skin. And he just gave me this pep talk. Mm-hmm. And he comes from the world of sports. He comes from former basketball players. So, he gave me that motivational in the huddle. We got 3 seconds left. Timeout. You got to go win the game speech. Mm. Had he told me to go punch somebody in the face, I probably would have at that point, because I was like, okay, I was shaking. I was hulking up.
Yeah, theme music.
And so you're right. And so that liberated me to give life to this character. And once I went, I was gone. And I turned into a lot of the guys that I don't like in real life.
Right.
But I was able to channel some of the things that I remember, behaviors and ways, and just just a-hole ways of, not really being considerate of anybody else but your own thing.
Right.
And really what they're doing is they're hiding something. Yeah. It's something beneath the surface that they're hiding.
And we saw that.
And and I give credit to Deon as a writer, because, a lot of movies, you get people who are just, one shade. Mm-hmm. And that's it. You don't understand the layers behind these characters. And in this movie, everybody had layers. Mm-hmm. Everybody was hiding something. Besides the Traffik story, it's a relationship story of couples. And when you're in a relationship, sometimes we hurt each other and we try to mask it and hide it. Sometimes we hurt back, and that's the only way we deal with it. Instead of just talking it out and saying, you know what? I'm really hurt from 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so you see these things. That's why I love this movie so much, because it's not just about traffic. It's not just about action and murder and mystery and trying to figure it out. But it's also a story about relationships.
Right. It had different elements of, you with Paula and you and your girl and Rosalind. How was it working with Omar Epps' Paula? You guys mashed together. It just seemed like y'all do this all the time.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you.
It went. It was great.
Every person in that movie I knew for 10 years plus. I've known Paula since Jumping a Broom. That was 2008 when we shot that. Omar Epps, I've known forever. Rosalind Sanchez, I met when I first moved to LA. You know, so there was definitely a trust factor there. You know, everybody trusted each other. So you felt real friendship. When you watch this movie, you're going to see real relationships there. We all trusted each other and love each other and respect each other, and that's what you see on film.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Chicago, born,
That's right.
Chi-Town. You got to support this movie. Like, what do you want people to get out of it? Like, what is the next after we see it? You bring in awareness to sex trafficking. What?
Yeah, I think that it's twofold. I think the first thing is we wanted to create a dope movie. You know what I mean?
Right. And you did that.
Like independently a dope movie. You know, there's no studio involved with this film. Now it is. They're just releasing it, but you know, this was done completely independently.
Wow.
So the first thing is to support that, right? Because you know, without that, then I can't do it again. But outside of that, I think what we were going for in the movie was to create talking points. And what Laz is discussing right now with you is like flawed characters, right? So I think that's what's making Tyler work right now into a level in terms of like their talking points. Like you go to the movies and you're like, oh yeah, I know him, or I know that. You know what I mean? No matter how you might feel it looks or whatever, it's dope for people to have conversation.
Right.
And I think what I'm trying to do is level up a little bit in terms of cinematically building a different landscape that represents me, but then at the same time doing the same exact thing to make films that make you want to discuss characters and relationships and topical things like trafficking.
Yeah.
So I think if you watch the film, what I want you to take away from it is, number one, understand that our women, our children, us as black people, we are being trafficked. And it's a big deal. And you look, the whole thing is if you see something, say something.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the reality is Baltimore, Chicago, Atlanta is the number one hub, right? Oakland, Watts, Inglewood, right? These are worlds where young girls are, we like, oh, that's just pimping.
Right.
Like, no, that's not pimping no more, man. What's going on is they taking kids from Texas, they taking kids from Chicago, running them to Oakland, beating them, torturing them, putting them on the streets, and at night locking them up.
Yeah.
So at some point you gotta be like, that's someone's daughter, that's someone's child. You know what I mean? That's sister. And at this point I'm just like, man, let's open up the dialogue because we've already been enslaved, for so long. We still trying to figure out how to get the shackles off of this.
Right.
Let alone now we, shackling each other and letting people do that to us. So I'm like, man, this should just be a really dope talking point for all of us.
Yeah.
I know. I never knew that this business was as big as it is too. I mean, this rivals the drug industry.
Billions.
Right.
Billions.
Because if you think about it, weed, once it's burnt, once it's smoked, it's gone. Mm-hmm. But a human being can get reused over and over and for years.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So that's where you really see how ugly this whole trafficking world is.
It was massive. And I noticed something in the movie. You notice how, Spike has his shot moving like that. You had some part in the movie as to where, they were doing something. It was just some different stuff that I saw from you.
Oh, that's what I do.
Without giving it away, it was like some shots. I was like, okay, now that I can tell it was now that's you.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody else direct or the way that the shots were going. Without saying too much, I can't tell you. You got to see the movie, but it's an awesome movie.
It is. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
And back to you. It's so not predictable. It's predictable, but then you be like, what?
Yeah. That's what I loved about it too.
Yes.
It's like it's not predictable.
It's not predictable at all.
When you're watching the movie, you're on a ride and you're trying to figure it out. And then just when you think you figured it out, bam, you hit a corner and now you thought we was going left and we went right.
No, that's big. Yeah, that was part of the engineering of the film was to do what we used to like a long time ago. So there were movies like Seven, right, that Fincher made that we loved, where at the end of the movie the dude is coming with the FedEx box and you're like, well, why is the guy all the way out there with the box? And you're like, oh no, that just happened.
Right.
the vanishing where, there's a kidnapping and ultimately the wife never comes back. So what I wanted to do in this film was be able to build a world where everything you think is supposed to happen doesn't happen.
Right.
And at the very end, without giving it away, you like, yo, this is crazy.
It was
okay,
crazy.
Did that just happen? And I'm like, man, yeah, just keep on pounding people, because if you can go for the ride and I can incite you and he could push the buttons and all of a sudden what happens is you walk out and you're like, damn, that was crazy.
Right.
And that's what you want.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what, and you get a message. So I'm like, man, you getting 2 for 1. You getting 2 for 1. You getting the thrill ride, and then you also getting something on screen where you go, wow, that's something I should really talk about. So
Right.
yeah, it's a blessing to be able to do it.
Awesome. Black director, black film. This you right here. The ladies love you.
Ladies love Laz.
You're not gonna like him in the
Ladies love
movie,
Laz.
okay? FYI.
My job is so that every lady hates me in this movie. If you hate me after this movie, then I did my job.
Well,
you know what? You know when they hated me too? When I did This Christmas.
Yes, and I was saying, I'm like, is that your character?
Every woman after This Christmas, when they saw what happened between me and Regina King, they wanted to slap the hell out of me.
That's what I was like.
And my goal was I got to do another movie to make you want to slap me. And I think we got one, Deon.
All right, man.
You haven't got the hate
Get
mail
ready to
yet.
slap
Not
him.
yet.
I'll do it for you, lady.
Go ahead, slap one of these. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Slap
get up
one.
in there. Slap that.
Guns out, guns
Slap
out.
that.
I broke my hand.
Slap that.
Y'all silly. This movie is back
terrible.
to
That was
back
terrible.
to the movie. Slap that. Okay.
Oh God! Cut.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say anymore.
Oh God.
Now, is this like this all the time?
All the time. We have fun on set. I ain't gonna lie. We have fun on set. We have fun because we clown.
Seriously, how did you get in the character though? You just
Go ahead
like
and
you
slap
got
that.
friends like that or something?
Nah, it really does. You do fall into character. There is a moment where you don't have to think or try. And the thing about this set, I ain't gonna lie. When we did Jump in a Broom, Paul and I had to be lovey-dovey all the time. On camera and in between setups, you can't stop acting because it'll break the flow. That doesn't mean that you hugging and kissing and all that, but you just, you respect each other's space and you treat each other as if we're still a couple so that when they yell action, you don't have to jump into character. Well, that same thing happened here. In this movie, Paul and I don't like each other very much. Our characters don't like each other very much. And when Deon would yell cut, we still didn't like each other very much. And that lasted throughout the entire
movie.
Yeah, the whole movie. Paul and I didn't hug and make up and be like, are we still friends? Yes, we still friends. We were just acting. Till we rapped.
Wow.
And it was at the rap party where we finally were able to hug it out.
And you can see that in the movie that it was real. It was real. So I'm going to see it again tonight.
Yes, please do.
I saw it
Please
Monday, and I'm going to see it again tonight. And I enjoyed the movie. Be sure to check it out. It's a must-see. There's a message, and it's putting an awareness out there. Did you want to let the people...
420, Traffik and Chill. Make sure you go see it this Friday, 420. Whatever you do before Traffik, get it done, and then go see Traffik.
And get your slap hand ready for him.
Yeah.
Slap that.
Thank you, Deon. Thank you so much for this. This was fun. I can hang with them all day. I got jokes too, but I gotta be professional
It's
here.
all good. It's all good. It's love.
I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. It's a
And
pleasure.
Deon, the movie, awesome.
Thank you so much.
Chicago,
That's it.
Chi-Town,
That's it.
Cuban, American.
You know what it is.
I know what it is.
Well, black is
Washington,
black.
DMV, baby.
You just black up in this piece.
Wait,
got the ripped
are we
jeans.
getting all like you?
Hey, look, man. You got a compliment. I still ain't talking about the glasses yet.
Oh,
you know.
wait.
Order shirt.
Wait,
Come on.
do you see the shirt?
Right, the shirt they matching the glasses. But, hey, look, if you fly, you fly. If you fly, you
I
fly.
see how you do.
Don't let nobody hate on your
I tried to match your
rain
fly.
on your parade.
I tried to match your fly.
I'm trying to match you. You getting all these thank yous.
Right, like, hey, my hair, I'm doing
Now
something
go see the
right.
movie, please.
Exactly.
Please go see the movie.
The hair is in the movie.